In this training, you're going to learn why 96% of weight loss methods fail in less than 2 years. And you're also going to learn the secret habits of the 4% who succeed. So you're in for a treat. Stay to the end. Let's get this out of the way. Who is this for? You have a slow metabolism. You store fat in those, hard to lose areas: the belly, the thighs, the arms. You suffer from the low energy, exhaustion, especially after work. You have brain fog and you struggle to concentrate, right? Or maybe it's you can't lose the weight no matter how hard you try. Or let's say you do lose the weight, but you just can't seem to keep it off, especially when life happens. Or you have that low self esteem, not as much confidence as you would like, and you're just tired, confused with all the conflicting advice, all that information about weight loss, information overload. Who is this for? Well, you acknowledge that that old system doesn't work and you're open to a completely new approach. Who is this not for? Well, you're kind of stuck in your ways, or if you're that victim mentality and you're interested in complaining rather than finding the answers. And despite the fact that you can't even achieve or maintain your goals, you're determined to try the same things that clearly don't work. Or maybe your ego gets in the way of you asking for help. You need to protect your self image as an intelligent and independent person. So you kind of want to just do this all on your own. That's definitely who this is not for. So imagine this. What would your life look like if you could maintain your goal weight forever without having to spend hours and hours exercising every week, without having to give up the foods that you love or giving up foods in general for that matter, without having to starve yourself, without having to do weight loss pills or supplements? Just imagine, what would your life be like without having to count every single calorie weighing the food, without having to make 2 to 3 different meals every night, one for your family, one for yourself, that fad diet, the bland, tasteless food that you don't enjoy while your family gets to enjoy all the good foods. Like, does this even sound like you, where you just don't find it's able to lose the weight no matter what? It feels like you've tried everything, the diets, the shakes, the medications, all that shit, the high intensity exercises. You see everyone else doing the same thing and losing pounds every week. And it just kind of makes you feel unmotivated, depressed, because you keep trying, but you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. Because I know you're sick and tired of not having energy. I know that you are in that position where enough is enough. You look in the mirror, you feel disgusted, you just don't feel like your best. Because I can relate to that. Because you may be feeling insecure, you may have low self-esteem, and if you do manage to lose a couple pounds, you may just see it just come back after one bad meal. You question like the point, like what's even the point of trying? You need to buy clothes because the ones in your closet don't fit anymore, it's too tight, or for the scrubs it just doesn't fit the way you want, or as soon as you look at food, the weight piles on it, and it's like, what's the point? Because here's the good news. If any of that feels like you, even just one or two things, here's what we have for you today. Because none of those things are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made the 5 essential shifts that I'm going to show you today. So grab your piece of paper, because more on these 5 shifts in just a minute here. Hey, who am I? Right? You probably seen me on Instagram, TikTok, online, YouTube, an ad, and you're wondering who am I? I'm Chiboze Oparacha. That's a name. It means God is King, also known as Chibi amongst our members, or even what you've probably seen on social media. And just a little bit of background. I had an athletic scholarship for track and field. Unfortunately, I lost it. However, I was fortunate enough to work hard and still maintain and pursue my education in health science and physical therapy. I have a very close relationship with my brothers. We kind of go by the O4, that's what we call each other, because we like to enjoy music, creating music, poetry, mixed martial arts, sports, exercise, good foods, you name it, we like to do it. And at this point in my life, I'm filled with joy, seeing my family healthy and happily, grateful to travel the world, having that freedom to do so spontaneously, and essentially living life to my full potential. Because I've lived so many years stuck, just pouring out into other people. And it wasn't until I made this shift that I'm going to share with you later that allowed me to pour back into my own cup, and doing it the right way, and more importantly, the new way, so that I can keep my results once and for all. Because here's a little bit of background. So when I did lose my athletic scholarship, I was struggling with my weight, because at that same time I had to work full time. I was being a personal trainer, working dead end jobs just to kind of support myself, make sure I can get through, cover this tuition. And then track, it was kind of my first love. It's kind of an identity I had coming out of high school. And When I lost that, I felt like I lost part of myself. And my brother at the time, he was also doing track and field, but at UConn. And it kind of crept in a little insecurity, a little bit depression, seeing him move on, continuing on that while I had to kind of just forced to adjust to more of like the school work life and more importantly, just losing that sense of self. And that's what led me through like a depressive era where I was emotionally eating. I stopped even taking care of myself. I was like just work, 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 school, 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 and I I just thought, okay, let me make a shift. I was so used to working out 2 3 hours a day because that's just what I did back in the day, and I try to put it into my current situation with all of my responsibilities and the little time I had, and it just wasn't working. I even tried eating super clean, and the clean eating that once used to get me in shape wasn't working. I realized, okay, I needed to find some answers. So this is essentially when I started diving into that personal training industry a little bit deeper, and everything changed because people were always asking me for help. I started doing 80 sessions per week and had to turn so many people down. And the people who were getting results, they came back because they didn't keep the results long term. So after realizing that there's something wrong with this old system, after years of researching mindset, emotional patterns, neural pathways, metabolism, hormones, I finally found something that was actually a solution and it was producing phenomenal results for my clients. But in my countless hours of looking for solutions to my own mindset, my own hormonal imbalances, the slow metabolism I was frustrated with, I kind of discovered no one was really helping people like me who were working nonstop and really busy. Because people were just working with the average individual with the average schedule. So I had to look for a different way. I started looking for ways to reach more busy people who needed my help. And if I could just get the right team with the right approach, I felt like I could reach the masses. And at this point, I'm over 1,000 individuals that I've personally coached to make this shift, with over 100,000 people following this system all across social media. So I'll admit, when I first thought about the idea, I was like, okay, this is crazy. I was skeptical. We're not going to be able to do this. But we took the plunge, and the rest is history. So who are we, and what is our method? It combines everything our team has learned over the last 10 years in this industry. We've made thousands of mistakes along the way, mistakes that you can avoid when you keep paying attention here, because we're super passionate about helping busy, hardworking men and women who, with slow metabolisms, more things on their plate than they care to deal with. However, my ultimate passion is changing the direction of the entire health and fitness industry because the way the system is broken. It keeps you in a cycle. You lose weight, you gain it back. Or you do a whole bunch of things, spend a bunch of money, invest in yourself, and don't see the fruits of your labor. So, what I've placed is an emphasis on simplicity and enjoyment so that our members keep the weight off forever. We teach you how to fish, not fish for you. Our holistic fat loss system has already changed the lives of thousands of our amazing members. You become your best self, you live to your full potential. So, are you ready? With no further ado, let's get right into this. Let's get started for you. All right, the old way. You won't arrive to your intended destination if you're using the wrong map. You take a flight, you don't have the right GPS coordinates, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So here's the old way, the restrictive fad diets from the shakes, the isogenics, the Herbalife, the juice cleanses, or the meal delivery systems, to Jenny Craig's, to the Nutri systems, to the keto saying, oh, carbs are evil, or the 500 calorie days, 800 calorie a day, HCG, the 1 2 3 diets, the things that your doctor recommends or you see on these blog posts. That's the old way. You know, the strict calories, the Newman Weight Watchers, where you have to, have this crazy point system and things like that, are super restrictive portion cutting that leaves you starving and hungry all the time, or even the avoid this food so you can lose weight, things that they tell you out there making you have a ruined relationship with food, or maybe it's the old way of relying on exercise alone. The group classes, the personal training, which I'll admit, I thought the old way was right too. And that's why I have this new system I'm going to share with you in a minute here. I just want you to really understand this point. Nutrition is like Batman, exercise is like Robin. A great sidekick, but not the true hero of weight loss. You understand? Nutrition, that's the cake batter. Exercise, that's icing on the cake. Because can you relate to this? Like being tired, hungry, easily agitated and upset. You can't concentrate or focus because you have that damn brain fog. It's like social occasions, you don't enjoy them because you have to just order the chicken salad or bring a Tupperware. You can't eat that because you're on a diet. Or maybe it's, the weight fluctuating up and down, even despite your efforts. You lose a whole bunch of weight, you feel good. The holidays come up, social events, life happens. A lot of my clients going through funerals, moving across the country, everything happening all at once, and then you gain the weight back, right? Or maybe it's the cravings are insane. Now that you just can't have those foods, now you want them. It's kind of like your children when you say, don't do this, then they just want to do it even more. Or maybe it's, when you fail and you just, all right, it's time to give up again. You feel like crap, you feel like a failure, and you're just wondering, why is this so hard? Because you see success with school, you see success in your career. Health and fitness is like that one piece of the puzzle that you just aren't able to do. Well, it's a good thing you're here. Because if that sounds familiar, understand the sad truth. 96% of dieters regain everything they've lost within 2 years plus more. And only 4% actually keep their weight off long term. Talk about miserable statistics, right? Because look, why is this even a thing? Because you want the results to last forever. But look, the weight loss plan that you used, there was something you were willing or capable of following forever. They weren't sustainable. If you don't see yourself doing something for 10 to 20 years at a time, it's not sustainable. Because the fact is, you enjoy food, you enjoy social occasions too, and you're just not going to get rid of them. You never found a genuine balance between a healthy weight and an enjoyable, sustainable life. So today, you've been listening this far, you really want to listen to the end because I'm going to share the 5 essential shifts of sustained weight loss. So this way, you can join the 4% of us who actually create a lifestyle of habits and routines in a healthy way, in a new way, so they can sustain the weight loss. Because first and foremost, you've been asking the wrong question. Let's just get to it. You've been asking, how do I lose weight? This is a very inadequate question that aims to solve the problem, and you'll never succeed with this question. This is a wrong question. Why? Because most diets, they do work, don't get me wrong, but you're not going to continue to work them. So you regain the weight when you return back to that normal. So this is like you get in shape for a holiday or an event, and then you gain all the weight back. Because diets, by their very nature, they're actually temporary. 8 to 12 weeks typically. They're challenging, stressful, require a lot of time, determination, and willpower. And it's only a matter of time before you give up. 96% of people, remember that, fail in less than 2 years. And you could think about yourself and the people around you who've been on diets, who've tried a lot of plans and programs, and they've all gained the weight back. Unfortunately, even people who go the surgery route, they usually gain the weight back. So the right question you should be asking, how can I lose the weight and keep it off forever? Become part of the 4% and make a true 180. More on this soon, so stay tuned. Second, stop searching for the magic bullets. Fad diets are the next big thing. The latest Netflix documentary, they always have that same radical scaremongering format. Whether it's don't eat this, you're going to die if you eat that. Or this year's new weight loss bestseller. Or even the weight loss magazines where the celebrities promote this crazy restrictive diet to help them get ready before an event or photo shoot. Or even those TV diet stories or Instagram influencers. Because think about it. Who are you listening to? The celebrities? Friends who've struggled their entire weight to keep the weight off? The TV stations and magazines who are more interested in capturing your attention? Because think about it. They do exaggerated claims so they can sell advertising. Attention is their currency. So obviously they're going to fudge things and make it very, very interesting. Or even just the people who stand to benefit from selling products which make you dependent on them. You know those programs where they tell you join in and then you have to buy a bunch of supplements or those keto products or food delivery services or the personal trainers that you have to pay them forever. Because listen, the cure to the magic bullets is understanding that there's 2 ways. 96% of people are dependent, the 4% are independent. I teach you how to fish, other people give you a fish. Because listen, following blindly, you just hope, cross your fingers that whatever they tell you works. Or you are independent, you're empowered, you learn, you implement, and you critique, and you actually have an understanding of the foundation of change. You become responsible for your life and your health, and this is how you become a role model for the people that you care about. Because think about it. If you don't understand how to do this on your own, you will forever have to pay someone to do it for you. And let's get to the negative framing or the positive framing. Which one moves you towards your transformation? Because at the end of the day, we move towards what we think about. This negative mindset framing is terrible because now you avoid food. You're causing stress in your life unnecessarily. You increase how rigid your lifestyle is. You have that black or white thinking where you're on and off the diet. You feel like a good person and a bad person because the focus is on what not to do rather than what you should do. Negative framing is more failure focused. Positive framing is success focused. And it's kind of like one of my mentors, they shared with me, if you're on a ski slope and there's a bunch of trees, you want to be told focus on the snow, the path that you're going, not don't hit the trees. Why? Because if you focus on the trees, you're going to hit the trees. Where your attention and mind goes, your body follows. And this is an example of positive framing. This is what I teach my clients from food provides my body essential nutrients and energy. Have I eaten enough vegetables? Have I ticked off the components of a balanced diet today? What will I choose as my lean protein source for lunch? How can I add more omega-3s to my diet, right? It's like, what can we do to move the needle forward towards our goals? And then also in my mindset mastery, which I'll be teaching you once you get the opportunity to join, is how can we reframe those negative thoughts? A lot of them are subconscious beliefs from childhood and upbringing to something more empowering. Because once you have a positive framing over food and your life, not only will you get results, but you will keep them for life. Because think about it. The positive framing, your focus on success, your emphasis on adding more of the essential elements for optimal health. You don't have any more stress and anxiety. You have more flexibility. And it's actually scientifically backed through not only psychology, also nutrition. Now, we got that out of the way. Let's move to 4. Because sometimes you just don't eat enough. And you're probably thinking, are you kidding me? Like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't eat enough. I see this all the time with my healthcare workers and for those of you who live a busy life, because think about it. Your metabolism crashed, gives you that hormonal shift, through the leptin and ghrelin. You feel low energy. You mean you're eating pick-me-up foods and that cycle repeats because you have low energy. Then you eat something to pick yourself up, right? And you can only cut so far back. And then that kind of leaves you like, okay, now I'm in a corner. What do I do? And then what do people typically do? More restriction. That leads to more rebellion, meaning you restrict and then you go into a binge cycle. That is not sustainable. And here's why eating more of the right things is more beneficial. Because it's not always about how much you eat, it's also what you eat. Because eating more healthy food gives you more nutrients. It reduces the cravings, therefore, no more binge eating. Wink, wink, hint, hint. This is kind of what a lot of my clients do to overcome emotional eating. This is what I've done. Take notes. You get more energy, you get a stronger metabolism, meaning the leptin and ghrelin hormones get balanced, and it's more sustainable. Next is to individualize. One size fits all doesn't exist. If they're telling you this is what everyone does, not throwing anyone on the bus, but those companies out there, those businesses, those trainers, those programs, that is mass marketed. You don't have clarity and a system that works for you. You have something that's cookie cutter, one size fits all. And this is exactly why you hate diets, because you're told what to do, told what not to do. If you don't like it, too bad. Their way or the highway. And whose lifestyle is that anyways? Listen, you're set up for certain failure because you don't like what you're doing. It doesn't fit with you or your family. You have to give up things you love. You have to do the things that you hate. You plan, it causes you more stress and takes up more time, which you clearly don't have, which is exactly why you're watching this video. Because if you had the time, you would have been doing this on your own. You need something that fits with your lifestyle and your time schedule, time efficiency. That's only going to be coming from individualization. And this is what success looks like, because you're going to like what you're doing. It fits your lifestyle with you and your family, because again, you may have a family that you actually care about. So you don't want to cook 70 different meals. You want to make sure you feel good and feel great about it, because it's easy to follow and you can actually enjoy the foods that you love. Listen, the secret is that there's no secret. The reason you haven't found a magic bullet is that it does not exist. We need to find out what works for you and what you like and help you tailor this over time. This is our passion. The unsustainable formula, the diets and plans and programs you've tried in the past, They're effective, they're complicated, and they're restrictive. That's just only going to lead to short term success and long term failure. You know this too often. Let's get real. Because the sustainable formula that you need is a lifestyle. It's effective, stupid simple, and enjoyable. That leads to long term success. And here's the case studies to show it. From Addie, she's 39. She now fits into a brand new swimsuit that she had for years. That you may also realize, like you have clothes in the closet that you haven't tried. Her big wins are the mindset improvements. She feels more confident and health has improved in a measurable way. Or even take Birdie, for example. She has more energy, confidence. She feels better and happier. She used to focus on losing the scale weight. She was missing out on the true benefits of being active and eating healthy until now. She loves the changes she's seen both mentally and physically. And I can do this forever. Let's talk about Christine. Her doctor told her that she would never lose her stomach because of menopause. Listen, dozens of women in their 50s, 60s, even 40s, perimenopause, have worked with us and got phenomenal results, even when their friends and family and the doctors told them otherwise. So we gotta take a good look at what people are telling us. Because, for example, Joanna, she had to buy smaller scrubs because of the fact that she lost so much fat that she had to get a new size. Her performance and strength keeps improving. She was able to do this program even as a busy nurse during the 2020 pandemic. Or even take Laura. The program is easy to follow, even as with a busy lifestyle, right? She's the leanest. If you can even just look at that night and day difference there, she's the leanest she's ever been, even more lean than when she was in her 20s. And her lifestyle changes, she needed them to get to where she is today, where she's living in a healthy and happy lifestyle. And again, we can just go on for days. I have hundreds upon hundreds of testimonials. To sum things up, we talked about 96% of weight loss attempts result in failure, and the five essential shifts that you need in order to make sustainable changes to your health, energy, and weight. From asking the right question, how can I lose weight and keep it off, to the fad diets, understanding that they never last, to the importance of positive framing, to eating less and less, being short sighted, and most importantly, how individualization is essential. Basically, you won't keep doing what you don't like. And what is our goal today? Our goal for today has been to show you why diets fail, why every time you lose weight, you gain more back. Diets, these programs, these plans, they cause stress and frustration. They make you feel like a failure with no willpower. This isn't actually the case because we're here to help you. The good news is there's a way to beat the odds and find a solution forever. Everyone's different, so generic advice won't cut it. What are your goals and what are your personal struggles? What's holding you back? What's the root issues? We'll discuss all of this on your call with us. Because there's a choice, two paths. To the left is the path that most people travel on, 96%, and it's a path of confusion and chaos and frustration and disappointment. Whereas there's a clear path, a clear decision to make towards the 4% who see success, who live life to their full potential, who become the role model and example to follow for their family for generations to come. The path that lets you live a life full of vitality, energy, freedom, health, happiness, and confidence. Because option one is the old way. You stick to what you've been doing and keep getting the same results with a 96% chance of failure. Find the next miracle fad diet, which exposes that evil food group and why it's the reason why you can never lose weight. By the way, these plans have been making such claims for years, and the miracle plan is yet to be found. Or option two, the new way. We will connect with you, we will ask you questions, and actually listen so we that having an understanding of your challenges and discuss a plan to solve them. If you'd like to make a permanent change, make sure you show up for your call, as these slots go very quickly and we take on only too many calls. Because today you have the opportunity to change your life for good and become part of the 4%. The 4% that makes a holistic lifestyle change that is not only going to make you happy in the first couple of weeks, it's going to make you happy and proud of your accomplishment for years to come. See you on the other side.